August 24th, 410 AD. The once mighty city of Rome, the center of a civilization that ruled the known world, lay at the mercy of invaders. For the first time in 800 years, Rome was sacked. The streets were filled with chaos. Flames consumed its grandeur, and terrified citizens fled in every direction. How did it come to this? How did the greatest empire in history fall so spectacularly? This is the story of Rome, not just how it conquered the world, but how it destroyed itself. Rome wasn't always the grand empire we imagine. In 753 BCE, it was just a small village by the Tiber River, surrounded by more powerful neighbors like the Etruscans and Greeks. But this village had something different, a sense of destiny, a drive to grow. By 509 BCE, Rome overthrew its kings and became a republic. It was a bold experiment. Power wasn't concentrated in one person, but shared between elected officials. This system created stability and allowed Rome to focus on what it did best: expansion. The Roman legions were unlike anything the world had seen. Disciplined, adaptable, and relentless, they didn't just fight battles, they engineered victories. Roads were built to connect cities and move armies. Fortresses sprang up in conquered territories. Rome didn't just conquer, it integrated, offering citizenship to its subjects and spreading Roman law and culture far and wide. By the 1st century BCE, Rome was no longer just a city-state. It had become the dominant superpower of the Mediterranean. Julius Caesar's conquests in Gaul expanded its borders, and Augustus, Rome's first emperor, ushered in the Pax Romana, a 200-year period of relative peace and prosperity. Rome was at its peak, its influence stretching from Britain to Egypt, its population over 1 million. Rome wasn't just about military might. Its innovations in architecture, governance, and engineering transformed it into a city of wonders. The Colosseum entertained, the aqueducts sustained, and Roman law unified an empire. But while the surface gleamed, cracks had already begun to form beneath. The decline of Rome wasn't caused by a single event. It was a slow, insidious unraveling. It started with corruption at the top. Emperors like Nero and Caligula prioritized their own excesses over the welfare of the empire. Political instability followed. Between 235 and 284 AD, Rome saw 26 emperors, most of whom met violent ends. The once mighty Roman legions became shadows of their former selves. As Roman citizens became reluctant to serve, mercenaries, foreign soldiers with little loyalty to Rome, filled the ranks. Meanwhile, the empire's vast size became its weakness. Managing an empire that spanned 3 continents strained resources and created vulnerabilities. In 285 AD, Emperor Diocletian divided the empire into the Eastern and Western Roman empires, believing this would make it easier to govern. While the East flourished, the West struggled under constant invasions and economic turmoil. The final blow came in 410 AD. The Visigoths, led by King Alaric, laid siege to Rome. Desperate for food and resources, they sacked the city, looting its treasures and dismantling its aura of invincibility. For the first time in centuries, the Eternal City was brought to its knees. In 476 AD, the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was overthrown by a Germanic chieftain named Odoacer. The Western Roman Empire was no more. The Eastern Roman Empire, known as the Byzantine Empire, would survive for another 1,000 years, but the heart of Rome had stopped beating. So, why did Rome fall? Historians point to a combination of factors: political corruption, economic instability, military decline, and overexpansion. But perhaps the greatest lesson lies in Rome's own nature. The very ambition that built it, the drive to conquer, to dominate, to expand, was the same ambition that stretched it too thin and made it vulnerable. But Rome didn't truly die. Its laws, architecture, and culture laid the foundation for the modern world. Every time we look at a parliament, an aqueduct, or a courthouse, we see the shadow of Rome. Its rise and fall remind us of the heights humanity can achieve and the dangers of losing sight of our limits. So, what do you think? Could the fall of Rome have been prevented, or was it destined from the start? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from the past that shape our future today.